Yeah, UFO people have been demanding disclosure, the disclosure movement. We want hearings, we want it all now, which none of us believe is ever going to happen. But for the first time in my life, you have major presidential candidates openly discussing UFOs. Your friend, John Podesta, I don't know if are we acknowledging publicly that you're talking to him or not?
He's in my documentary.
Okay, all right. You've been talking to John Podesta. He's made public statements. His candidate has made public statements. It seems astonishing.
It is astonishing. I will tell people, Mr. Podesta is, he's a very powerful person. I think Miss Hillary Clinton will be the third person he got elected to office. Somebody that has the power to get someone into that presidential position. He's been a chief of staff. He's been a senior advisor to President Obama for a long period of time. So you have to pay attention to what this man does. I will tell you that we will find out things that they're able to tell us, not because we can't handle it, but because it is serious business what they're trying to do to defend against what is perceived as a threat. And you don't show your cards, you don't show your advantages, you don't show your weaknesses. And when they say they want to disclose this stuff, and Hillary Clinton's been very vocal about this, when she says, as long as it's not a national security thing, we want to release it. That's not tiptoeing around and trying to find, the fine print in the document that you didn't read and say, I'll tell you, but not really. That's not what they're saying. They're saying, look, there's real gravity to this stuff, and it's very serious stuff. So we'll tell you what we can, so we don't mess up the task.
What do you make of the timing of it, though? Is that it's ballsy to talk about it in a presidential campaign? Because that obviously could be used against you. It'd be easy to bash somebody over the head with a spot and make fun of that, because that's how the topic's been treated.
What was that run candidate, Dennis Kucinich?
Kucinich. Yeah.
Kucinich. He came out, saw a UFO. That's all he said. I saw a UFO, and he just got beat down on the debates by the other candidates. You can have these guys on stage that say they believe in Jesus, or they're a Christian, and Jesus will show up, however he'll show up, and he is going to do what he's going to do, save the world at a time of Armageddon or whatever. I don't know. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm just saying they're all very vocal about believing in the story of Jesus and Jesus returning. But when you say that you saw something that potentially was from somewhere else, like the Deep Space Project, when there's 10,000 galaxies in one little slide, it's like, all of a sudden you're wacky. It is very ballsy for Hillary Clinton to be saying this stuff. For her chief, for the chief of her campaign to come out and say this stuff. They know what they're doing. They're doing this for a reason. And I also want to say that China, Russia, India, all these other places are Japan, landing on the moon, orbiting Mars, orbiting Mars's neighbors, the moons and the other asteroids out there, and they're starting to see stuff. And they're now the power of this secret is going to be in somebody else's hands. And I don't think the United States should wait too long to where other countries take something from us or announce something that we didn't announce ourselves in the appropriate way. Not because we need the credit for it, but because the United States is doing something that the entire world will benefit off of with this subject. And it is a national security issue where the borders between countries don't matter. What our country is doing will protect the entire world in that case.
I've had people say, emails that people, Tom DeLonge, I don't like him anymore because he's part of Team Hillary. The idea, though, is, and as I try to explain it, is Hillary and Podesta are on one track. You're kind of on a parallel track with different groups. There's a little interaction there, but it's two different tracks happening at the same time. That timing is interesting to me. It's interesting.
I think it's very interesting. This is the deal. I said long ago that I would vote for a female if she ran. I just want a female in there. I just think it's smart, and if it's an all-female ticket, then I'll be double happy. I think men have run the country for too long. I think it's very interesting that they've been so vocal about bringing out knowledge about the UFO phenomenon, running up to the election. That's just insane to me that they would do that. But it is a parallel track. We have evolved to such a point with technology and various forms of consciousness. You look at the world, some places might be a little bit further behind, but I just think that we're transcending a lot of the plans that were put in place in the 40s. There was a plan to tell people about the UFO subject over a period of time, to ridicule it so people don't get scared of it. They feel like they can giggle at it. But over time, we will learn everything. Well, what's happened is we've passed up that plan, because when they made that plan, they weren't envisioning cell phones and the internet and Twitter and Facebook and how quick people talk to each other and how quickly they can advance. So I think one of the reasons I'm really excited about Hillary, because she's a female, number one, but number two, because she's talking about the subject, she's not scared of it. And I think it's the one subject that attacks so many things: physics, religion, cosmology, politics, and secrecy. It's all there with one subject.
Her and Podesta to be talking about this at the same time that your guys are talking to you, it seems like too much of a coincidence. It almost seems like a light switch has been flipped. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not going to spill all the secrets right away, but okay, let's see what happens.
I think a lot of these people are, the generation right before mine. So I think that's probably when you start getting out of those very elevated positions and start questioning and looking back everything you've done. And I think more often than not, these people are taking a glance at their accomplishments and saying, people need to know about this stuff if there's ever a chance to tell them. I called up my main advisor, which is of the highest ranks, and I said, you are a national asset. Everything that you've seen and what you have done and what you have been privy to and what you have accomplished, you are a national asset. Your story needs to be heard. And in many cases, it's unfair. You have the citizens of the United States have been paying and creating the environment for you to have all those experiences, and they're so important. And the man's so humble, he didn't totally understand that, but that's how I feel.
You think they will ever go on the record, your people? Right now, they have plausible deniability.
Right.
They can deny it. Tom made that up. I never talked to him. He's crazy.
There's no reason for them to go on the record right now. The main reason is it's an ongoing, you guys got to think about this, it's a wartime task. They are trying to learn things, create things, understand and combat things. It's ongoing, difficult task. And when you're in the middle of an operation, you don't just, a wartime operation, you don't just stop and tell everybody about it. If we were totally free and clear from this phenomenon, I think then they can take a breath and say, let's tell you about what we did. And that, like World War II, they can come out after the fact and say, you know what, let's tell you about some of the things that we did. We did some amazing stuff that no one knew about, but we did it to win.
The implication in that sentence is that we've got technology from somewhere else. You can call it alien in that it's not ours, foreign. We've got technology, we're trying to figure out how it works and how to defend against it.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. It's crazy to believe. It's super hard to digest. But that's exactly what's going on, yeah.
Final question, the reaction that you've gotten so far, since our interview, since the book came out. The book has got good reviews. Yeah. In general, what's the reaction, general public, UFO public, music public?
Music fans are like, why are you not doing music? What is all this SHIT? The UFO fans are like split. It's either like, everything you're saying is contrary to what I chose to believe, or the other people are like, I knew it. There's a whole nother group of people that said, oh my God, I had no idea. Are you serious? This is so fascinating. Holy cow, I can't get enough of it. I read the book in a weekend, all 700 pages. And then you have another group that's like, I suspected it. This is really great. Some people are just passionate about the idea that I'm being passionate and following things that inspire me. It's an interesting soup of people's thoughts.
Well, obviously, you want it to be successful. You want it to be self-perpetuating, make some money so you can keep going.
Well, yeah, I want this to be successful for a very specific reason. The goals to create major motion pictures and televisions based on this material, to do it right. I did a pitch with the advisors this is a story. I went and saw a movie called 13 Days with Kevin Costner years ago. It was about the Cuban Missile Crisis. I think I said this on the interview that we had, where you learn about the Cuban Missile Crisis in school. Oh, we almost had nuclear war, and it was really scary, and everyone was ducking under their desks, and it was a very heavy time for the country. You're like, cool, you leave class and go skateboarding. That's what I did. When I saw that movie, I was sitting there for 2 hours going, oh my God, I had no idea, because you lived through the debates, and they were able to kind of reenact something on a major motion picture where I walked out of that movie going, oh my God, I want to learn more about this. I had no idea. I had no idea that's what it was like. So that's what I wanted this to achieve. I figure if we can sit people down and they can learn by the debates and the discussions and the things that we did. Watching people stumble upon something extraordinary, seeing the fears that went on in their eyes by generals and admirals going, oh my God, what do we do? And then all the debates yelling at each other like, we got to keep it secret. We can't keep it secret. We got to tell everybody. We cannot tell everybody, And then finally is when we're going to do this just for now. Just keep it secret while I figure it out, And then you'll watch that and go, okay, I get it. And that's what I'm trying to do. But in order for that to happen, in order for someone to give you $100 million to make a film like this, $100 million, and that's not even the marketing of the film. That's a lot of money to ask for. You got to create an environment for people to want to throw money like that down. But once they do that, I will have that communications vehicle that I always describe that will be internationally exported, and I can start a conversation with young adults about their own belief systems, their own cosmology, and we can hopefully change the way we view ourselves.